Hello everyone. I'm here to talk about a novel concept named long-term repo operations, that is LTROs, and its impact on Indian economy. Let's start with the concept in detail. LTROs is a new liquidity facility announced by the RBI in its recent monetary policy review on February 2020. It is an unconventional measure taken to inject liquidity into the banking system and boost credit growth. Now, why it is called an unconventional measure? Because something like this has never happened before in Indian banking structure. In fact, the idea was conceived from the European Central Bank. It is a step to drive up monetary policy transmission, which enables the bank to borrow longer term loans at a cheaper rate. This would reduce the cost of funds for banks and boost lending in the economy. The RBI has decided to give out rupees 1 lakh crores as loans to the banks through auctions at the repo rate of 5.15%. These loans will have long-term maturity period of 1 year and 3 years. Since the whole concept of long-run repo operations depends upon the repo rate, so let us talk in brief about what is repo rate and what is its mechanism. The term repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends to commercial banks for a day, or in other words, it is an overnight lending rate. Under repo mechanism, the banks sell their government securities to the RBI with an arrangement to repurchase the government securities at a future date and at a fixed price. It is the rate at which the bank repurchase the securities from the RBI. As the name itself says, REPO, that is repurchase rate. There are two types of repos in India, depending upon their maturity period. Number one, overnight repos with a maturity period of 1 day. Secondly, term repos. These are short-term repos with a maturity period of 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, and 56 days. So this was the brief about repo rate. Now let's get back to LTROs. Let's discuss the few basic features of LTRO. RBI has planned to conduct LTRO from the fortnight beginning on February 15 at the policy rate. Now what is this policy rate? It is the repo rate only, which I have already discussed in my first slide, that this rate is 5.15%. The idea was to inject total funds up to rupees 1 lakh crore, and the mode of operation adopted is through e-Kuber system. What is this e-Kuber system? It is the core banking solution of RBI, which enables each bank to connect to their single current accounts across the country. These loans will have a long-term maturity periods of 1 year and 3 years. The interest rate is comparatively low, so it will create a downward pressure on short-term lending rates, which means you will get loans at a cheaper rate as compared to the earlier existing rates under this scheme. Now let us know why RBI needed to carry out these LTR operations. The RBI has consistently been reducing the repo rates to inject liquidity into the economy. However, the banks have not reduced the rate of interest on loans in the same proportion due to poor monetary policy transmission. Further, the rate of interest on long-term loans has remained much higher, which has hindered the rate of investment within India. Hence, the RBI has carried out the LTROs to reduce rate of interest on long-term operations and improve the monetary policy transmission. In the end, I would like to discuss briefly about the effect of LTROs on Indian economy. The reduction in long-term rate of interest will force the banks to reduce the rate of interest on short-term loans, which will further motivate the banks to reduce their overall lending. And the result is it will lead to improvement in the monetary policy transmission mechanism, which was one of the objectives of LTROs. And lastly, it will improve the rate of investment and hence boost the economic growth in the economy. I hope you have understood the concept of LTROs and its impact on Indian economy. Thank you.